So this is a whole new implementation of div7a in Python, and I really tried hard to write it in a way that it's possible even for, you know, like a non-programmer to go through all the steps in the computation. And thanks to, you know, Python, IPython, Jupyter, Pandas, all that stuff, we have this nice print out. So here so this is an interactive Jupyter notebook, and I'm calling div7a calculation on some test input data, and it's going through these steps. So you always see input, insert interest accrual records, add interest accrual days, you know, annotate with this and that, or insert new events. So the basic semantics is that there is the whole loan is defined as a series of events or records. So this is like a trivial, almost empty example. Loan start is the first record with some data, and later on, 5 years later, we have an opening balance. So this would imply that we are going to calculate just for that last year after opening balance. And here we see it again in a table with, yep, more or less, okay, with also the year of the loan, and whoops, I shouldn't be sorting it like that, and with the remaining years. Remaining years in the sense, probably, you know, as defined by the ATO somewhere. Date type, balance, term of the loan, and yeah, and then we iterate through the steps. So the first step is inserting accrual records. Now like background idea in this is that obviously this is trying to make it work for the whole calculation across all the years, and I was trying to put it together in such a way that a calculation with opening balance, so a calculation only for the last year, is pretty much still the same code everywhere possibly, so that we can kind of hope that if we have all these ATO test cases for the 1 year, then it kind of transfers, or at least partially transfers, to correctness for the whole algorithm. So we are inserting accruals for one for each year. You see it for period until income year end. But we're actually, like before the opening balance, we're actually not working with a balance. So we're just, you know, we just stick these records there, and we do the steps, but we can't do the calculation. And like, I don't need you as a user to look through this series of tables, obviously. There's the final table with everything done. A tricky part was you know, thinking about the loan as a series of events. You run into this, what's the sorting logic? So, and I was stuck on that for a bit, because how to make it also, you know, to make the code clean, you don't want to be inserting records into exact places while you are iterating over them, and it all gets messy. So so the semantics of the records is that I'm sorting by the date, obviously, and then you can have a bunch of records on the same date. And as a second thing I'm looking at when sorting is basically there's this, how did I call it, goes before any. There's like what you would say to yourself when reviewing the algorithm. Possibly you just know that some record has to go before one or after one, but it's actually only used, this is actually only used in like one place, when we are like inserting an accrual after a repayment, but the repayment is maybe on the same day as, you know, the closing balance, and then you want to insert another accrual for the 0-day period there. So that's the second criterion, and the third is just the type of the record. So the records are ordered. Never mind this one here. The records are ordered by the type. So loan start always comes first, accrual before a repayment, lodgement date. I decided to try to model lodgement date as a record, kind of like an event, so we can think about it in terms of what comes first, what comes after. Minimum yearly repayment, check, and finally the user provided optional opening balance. You would see it in the table that, I mean, I'm gonna be reviewing this. I have this nice table reviewing when I get to testing. I'm in the process of wiring up this Python code from the Prolog code, so there's like as little change as possible against the current non-working implementation. It's gonna work with the exact same input data and return the exact same format. I think I'm gonna get that done soon, and then I'm gonna fix up the calculations, because some things are gonna be wrong here for sure. Yeah,